Hey team, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Amy Corr, EVP of Culture and Agent Development, and I'm joined by Kevin Van Eck, EVP of Innovation. We've got a great topic for you today. We're going to be focusing on breaking into the luxury market space. So grab your cup of coffee and let's jump into the next episode of Coffee with Amy and Kevin.
Yes, thank you everyone for joining us again. We're talking about breaking into the luxury market. So before we get started though, just remember, anytime you have a big initiative, anytime you're implementing a business plan, breaking into the luxury market is just the same. It's going to take patience. Nothing happens overnight, but we do have 4 steps for you today that you can implement to get that ball rolling on top of what you're already doing to grow your own luxury market share.
That's right. And the first step, or the first thing that we're going to talk about, is your collateral. You need to determine what your collateral looks like right now, what your brand represents. Does that speak to the luxury market space? Are you quality, high level, luxury enough? So you want to take a look at everything. It's everything from the colors of your logo to the style of your font to even the imagery that you are using. All of those things, if done in the right manner or tweaked the right way, can absolutely speak luxury. It's also about, when you're taking a look at your collateral, the quality of it. So any of your materials that you have printed, what is the card stock? What is the level of the quality of paper? I know this sounds silly, but these little details can really make all the difference when it comes to your collateral. And if you don't really know where to begin or how to start evaluating how to get or create a luxury brand, I would really consider taking a look at luxury brands that are out there right now. Let's take a look at Chanel, Louis Vuitton, whatever resonates to you and in your market space that speaks luxury. See what they do, see what their brand represents, and then start figuring out a game plan of how you might start changing your brand, the logo, your font type, all the things that you've got currently, whatever it is, whether it's an overhaul or even just some minor tweaking that will speak to the luxury clientele. That's the first step in creating an opportunity to start getting into the luxury space.
So let's talk about number 2, because it ties right into that. How are we going to distribute that collateral? You know, this is important. We need to be able to show consumers what a luxury brand should look like. And so we need to take a look at what we've created from the collateral, what we've improved, what we've done, and how are we going to make sure that consumers see it. The hottest tip we can offer you is to use your agents as the distribution point. They're the ones with the relationships. They're the ones that are already marketing to their clients. And so we have an opportunity through our agents to show that you are, in fact, a luxury brand. And so we have a couple of different ways, actually 3 different ways that you can distribute through your agents and make them feel great. The first, social media. We know that it's one of the most effective, cost-effective ways to create exposure for your brand. We know that agents want content to post, and if we give them great content, they will post it. So if you can create great luxury content that agents can distribute through social media, they will post it, and it creates exposure for your brand as a luxury brand. Number 2, you have the ability to mail collateral. Now, we're talking about direct mail, but sort of at a different level. One of the things that we've seen successful at brokerages is where they take their luxury brochures and they target the nearest 25 homes around a current agent's listing in a similar price point. And so we're mailing these high-end brochures showing consumers what it would be like and how your brokerage has the ability to create exposure for their luxury listing. And it also highlights the agent. It makes the agent feel good because the agent is in the luxury brochure that's going to the other homes within that community. And lastly, the third way you're going to be able to distribute content is through collaboration. Now, we know that in some markets, at some brokerages, there's a culture of cutthroat, but hopefully not at yours. I'm sure it isn't. But what we want to do is allow agents to collaborate and cross-market properties across the brokerage. How does this help? Well, it helps agents with content to share. It helps the listing agent in creating exposure for their luxury listing. And lastly, it creates exposure for your brand, your brokerage, with already existing luxury listings. So through those 3 ways and by using your agents as distribution, you are going to be able to make consumers, allow them to see that you are a luxury brand, you are creating success in the luxury market, and they're going to be more inclined to call their agent with your brokerage when they have a need.
That's so great. And I think the thing too is using your agents as distribution channels is so important. But the topic I'm going to go into is having your agents learn how to be luxury agents. Not every agent really knows what it means to be a luxury agent or how to break into the luxury market space. So similar to what you're doing at the brokerage level, it's also rolling that down to your agents. It isn't something that's natural for every agent. I know for many that I've worked with and coached with in the past, they had to be intentional about wanting to get into the luxury space. So let's talk about what that looks like. I think the first is making sure that an agent really understands their luxury clientele. The luxury clientele or the luxury consumer wants to feel as if their agent really gets them. Not that their agent is in awe of them because they're in kind of this interesting, luxurious lifestyle. They want to feel as if their agent can step in and is really confident working with them and understanding their needs, but understanding what matters to them. So that is the second piece, which is what are they interested in? The luxury consumer, when you're an agent or you have agents that are thinking about breaking into it, they need to understand those nuances. They need to understand the brands that resonate, the cars that the luxury consumer drives, where they like to go socially, what trips they're taking, what restaurants they frequent. These are all the things that as an agent they need to learn and understand so that when they are connecting with the luxury consumer, it makes sense and they seem as if they are someone this luxury consumer would really want to work with, right? Because at the end of the day, it still comes back to the same old thing. It's all about relationships and connecting and being authentic. And an agent can't feel authentic unless they're comfortable in the space that they're in with a client. And then the last thing that I'm going to talk about as it relates to agents thinking about breaking into luxury is whether we like it or not, you have to dress the part. You have to make sure that when you are interacting with luxury clientele, they feel as if you fit as far as being their agent. And I'm not saying that you have to go head to toe in Dior, but making it, recognizable that you drive a nice car, that you've got a nice handbag, that maybe you've got a nice watch. These are just the small things because we all know that sometimes before we even have an opportunity to have a conversation, people are judging us from appearance. So it's something that we do have to think about as agents who may want to break into the luxury market space.
Such a great point. Yeah, for better or for worse, it's human nature. People want to work with people that they feel like can relate to them, right? So let's go to the fourth one. This is the fourth way you can grow luxury market share, and this is by recruiting luxury agents and teams, meaning luxury leaders that already exist in your market. So the first step in doing this, you have to have a plan, right? You have to have a plan for how you are going to grow the luxury market share at your brokerage. And you have to be able to articulate it. There's no way you're going to be able to capture and recruit over a successful luxury team unless you can show them the path to success in luxury. So that's number one, make sure you have that plan. Number two, understand that you're going to have to invest money. Perhaps more money than you ever thought of. It is an investment to increase luxury market share, and this includes investing in those teams and agents, investing in the distribution of collateral that we've talked about, investing in the training of your agents and how to act and interact with luxury clientele and high net worth individuals. And then lastly, make it a partnership. When you're recruiting over teams and agents that are in the luxury market already, it's really important that you make it a partnership, that they become sort of the flagship, they become the figureheads of your new luxury push within your market. You have to make them feel comfortable, they have to make sure that you're as invested as they are, and if you are able to do this, lay out the plan, if they understand the investment you're going to make, if they can see the roadmap to continued growth, more so than wherever they are already, then you will be successful in recruiting luxury agents and teams to your brokerage.
Such great points. So as Kevin mentioned earlier, breaking into the luxury market doesn't happen overnight, but these are 4 tried and true things you can do to get there, to start laying the foundation for breaking into your luxury market. So make it a great day. We appreciate you joining us again. And until next time, Inman, you got this.